And then we'll just continue define activations. I think before I'm going to explain the third one, and then we're going to talk about the fourth one. I like to still remind when I just simply translate activation, is almost like when let's say that when you at night, when you go back to a room, like what I understand in our dormitory. So the first thing when you enter the room, you will try to find the light. You need to open the light, right? So that then you really can move freely. The same thing that if you really have this kind of five thing with you, it's almost like you have switched off the light. The kind like say that there were 5 lights there. If you switch the light, so you could actually do your practice very easily. Now, I need to remind again, the first time, just for to refresh your memory, the first one is about the faith, right? I mean, do you remember that? Right? And the second one, but the faith is mainly emphasis on the faith towards the triple gem, right? And the second one is that? Okay, the second one is less problematic in the body, or you could just say simply it's all right, not too bad within the health, with the health. So how about the third one? Yeah, others mean just be honest. Okay. And with that, I would just say a little bit about how in the Buddhist text say about being to be honest. And the Pali will say this way. Yani ko panasahondi satayani kutayani jimhayani wankayani dani yatha buddhang saritisa avi kata hodi. Of course, this is from one of the very famous Buddhist texts. And I'm sure that you know in the Buddha times that he was born as a royal family. In other words, one of the skills he need to know is about how to train a horse, right? As in old day, 2,000 years ago, any royal family as a prince or anyone who are really in a royal family, they must know how to tame the horse because they need to ride a horse for whatever reasons, for travel, even for fun, or even for warriors reason as well. So that's why actually it's very often Buddha used the simile with something about with the horse. Here, if you ask me about a horse, I don't know. But I was just only based on what the text say, because I don't really have any experience about a horse. I don't understand the nature of the horse. And one other thing about a horse is that if you want to really to train a horse become very nice, I mean the horse has to be good in nature already. However, you still need to train the horse. And then if the horse, basically referring mean the horse, if the horse having the problem of craft, and deceit, crookedness, dishonesty, or you could just say twisting, and then that always manifests that kind of thing that happen to that horse. You need actually to train the horse, and then you crush all this kind of program from the horse. In other words, this is a simile to take as a monk or as someone who are really doing their practice. They should also must know the treating that we have to be honest. In other words, if something that like the craft of mind, deceit mind, crookedness mind, twisting mind, and those things that happen to us, that we definitely do not allow it to be happen, because it certainly is no way to good for our spiritual practices. Okay, that's the main thing that I want to say. Just allow me to say that in Chinese few things. 就是简单的说，就是从一个经里面有讲到说，当然他本来有讲了很多，里面有谈到8种，就是如果要把这个马把它调训得很好的时候，有8种，一个当然你要选这种人，这个马是不是好的品种，那么在谈到另外一个里面的时候，当这个马已经不错了，但是呢，接下来呢，它虽然已经不错了，但是接下来呢，你就要调服它什么？你就要调服这个马。你要让它成为一个真正的你的好伴侣的话，那你要怎么样？你要调服这个马，不要有这种陷取、欺诈、歪曲或更不正直。一般就是中文是怎么翻译？好，那么我们也都知道，这个当然这边这个后来就比丘就用这个马来做一个譬喻，是说像如果我们一个修行人都是一样， 那虽然你已经还可以不错了，不过接下来我们这个人心因为都是静的原因嘛，很多原因，那么所以我们都可能会有这一些的课题，那我们一定要去调伏。那么这个调伏的所谓的限制、欺诈跟歪曲跟不正直这个，那当然这个就是所谓的刚刚我们要谈到第三类的这个所谓的进群力我们也有这样子的进群。这个其实进群这个字有点奇怪，但就是说要有这样子的一种功利存在。那么这个功利就是不要有欺骗，或者不会耍手腕不会耍手段。那么这耍手段不是只是一个表现在外的，而是内心的我不知道，因为我其实从来没有记得我养过什么宠物，但是那时候我们在大觉寺，我们倒是有2只猫一只白猫，一只黑白猫但是你很容易对一个猫了解久了，你就会发觉这2只猫的性格还是有不一样的。比如说我们那只白猫，所谓白猫就是黑白猫，但我都把它叫白猫，因为一只全黑嘛，就叫黑猫它的这个就是一个，因为它本来就是老大哥，所以呢，他们是2兄弟他是老大哥，所以他好像比较有自信。那么他也不担心你摸他但是他不喜欢你摸他，他就跑掉了。但他不会用一种会跟你抗拒的方式，蛮有自信的。那么另外一只黑猫，虽然我比较喜欢它，不是因为我喜欢它，是它性格好，是因为我觉得蛮可怜的。因为大家相比来讲比较不喜欢黑猫那但是这只黑猫就是有个有趣的地方，就是它就是很狡猾，有时候。比如说你如果不甩它，它要你留意它，你不留意它的时候，它就会把你的东西趴下来，就这样弄下来。那么好了，你已经注意到了，你本来就想要好像去照顾它一下嘛，关心它一下，它又耍脾气它就会跑掉。但是这个动作那只就所谓的黑白猫，我是所谓叫白猫，是不会发生的。如果它发觉你不甩它，它就看看你，再看看你，没有它就走了，很有自信。另外一只那只黑猫就一直以来都是，反正还有更好笑的一个故事，就是我那时候就离开了大觉寺，我那时候就下来的时候，唯一的一次发生，就是我那时候叫什么就是我把我传单都收起来嘛，就是要带下来，带到这个马里兰来，的东西收起来。那时候因为我们这里不是有行李箱吗？那是白猫黑猫都会来的，一定会来看你在干什么。但是白猫比较乖一点，它要么躺着，你叫它走它就走。但是黑猫就比较皮嘛，我已经说了，但不管如何它都爬到我床上嘛，那本来就爬到床上也算了，但是因为我就要收我的那个传单所以我就把它赶走了这样。然后后来我再回来的时候反正就东西收，我就把它赶走。他今天撒了一泡尿在我的床上，唯一的一次发生。就是他就是有点不正直是吧？那就也是不过当然我也能理解，他也是舍得，他有点不高兴我走了，然后他就其实那个白猫也会不舍得，但是他就表现的方式不太一样，就是。OK， 这是还是比较细腻，但是从一个修持来说，在修行里面，这个之前我们也解释，就是说，这种要注意到的，如果你这个东西没办法修正过来呢，在将来不要说将来，其实在哪里修行的道场，我的理解常常人家会有时候问一个问题，说我为什么你要做到，为什么我做不到？说的不好听，我们这个讲有话直说，但那你们不要不高兴不是在讲你们都是因为这个问题，这是最大一个问题产生的。那么你们只要记住就好，有一天你们真的去用功去修行，你就会发觉为什么这个人会做不好。但是呢，也有人呢，那我们将来再说。反正基本上，如果一直都做不好的人，至少他在学习的过程就是没有把这个调伏的，因为修行是一个很当下立即的一个心理的状态。好的 ，OK， now let's just move on to number 4. I'm sorry that I couldn't speak in English about something funny about the cats. We used to have 2 cats anyway. Anyway, at time. And the 4th one actually is the, you could say the activation of the Arata video. We call live in or with the great effort. You must have a great effort. In other words, mean you have to do it again and again and again and again and again. Do not think, oh, if I don't practice, in other words, do not think that, or do not worry in some way. I mean, do not worry in a way, it should not become a kilesa, become a defilements, should not become a thing that burden you. But you might be thinking that, oh, you need to practice, you want to improve your meditation very soon. But this concept actually is telling you, we just have to keep on doing it, must have the video, In other words, I mean, RT video, I mean, you could say that you have to always begin with the energetic, just be energetic, that's it. This is actually you need to think. The Buddha teaching never asks you, never threat you. If you don't do now, they don't threat you that way, the Buddha. Unless you really, of course, you ask certain question. Otherwise, in a general statement, the Buddha never threat person, okay? Because, anyway, this is what we understand. Let me just say, when we say video here, with regard to energetic, for what, okay? Akusalang dhammanang bahanaya kusalang dhammanang upasampadaya dhammava dalha barakamo anikita turo kusalesu dhammesu. He will begin or provide the great effort for, here's my translation. So many papers. Maybe I lost the translation. Okay. He provides with a great effort for abandoning unwholesome qualities and acquiring wholesome qualities. He is strong, firm in exertion, not casting off the duty of cultivation wholesome quality. In other words, he is energetic to what? Energetic, or he is provide his energy for what? Energy for cultivating the wholesome thing. And then cast away unwholesome. Then he has to become very strong and firm, okay? It's one more word, I think. Strong and firm, and then, what is the other word? Yeah, and he's strong and firm, anyway. He's strong and firm in exertion. So, now, just say about what you were practicing also. When you're practicing the meditation now, at least so far you practice meditation for the sake of samadhi. But it's also actually at the same time you build up your virtue. When you are doing your practice of samadhi, so I speak this again and again, that you need to cultivate the wholesome thing, right? When your mind observing the breath, at least your mind is not having a lot of, it's not about distraction, it's more about that you are not going to add up some story, you are not spinning a lot of story because of your mind wandering, right? And when you, especially if you cultivate loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy, then you are having this wholesome kind of the mental quality there. So you need to keep on having this good quality, and let this good quality become as a wholesome quality. This wholesome quality always gives you the wholesome thing, or what we call the cause and the effect. It always gives you the good effect, that is the good result. Let's say when you have a love, it always gives you the nice thing, the result, right? When you have the anger, maybe some people argue with me, no, and when I have anger, something gives me a good result. In a way, yes, maybe you could say, but then that has to do with your intention as well, okay? But certainly when you have a bad intention, because you could pretend you're anger, but not necessarily you're really anger, right? You know what I'm saying? So then it's always give you the bad result. The consequences are always bad. This is, we will talk that maybe more later. I don't know whether we will talk that, but in the practice, maybe we address the issue. In Buddhist practice, in the later stage, when you do Vipassana, when you do insight meditation, you suddenly will have to investigate. Because you are believing in what the teaching is only. When I say not believing, mean you must be able to examine yourself whether that is the case. Otherwise, it can never be the truth to you. Okay, this is what we call energy. I like to talk about a story, about a very famous story. People like to talk about. I'm not sure, but you might have heard about it. But I mean, for the sake of understanding this meaning of the arati video, mean how you provide yourself with the energetic. This story actually it's from one of the actually from the commentary of the Sakabangha Sutta. Well, Sakabangha Sutta is one of the very famous sutta also in Majjhima Nikaya. No. Sakabangha is not Majjhima Nikaya, sorry. Sakabangha Sutta in Digha Nikaya, in the long discourse. So in the long discourse, the commentary talk about it. So firstly, I want to say the Sakabangha Sutta is very famous because it's one of the sutta have few of the thing. It's about the king of the heaven. Remember, if you chant, when we were chanting in the text, we did mention his name. And when he have a question, he want to ask the Buddha certain practice question. When he want to meet the Buddha, it's not about a war, it's not about how he can rule the country, and he doesn't need to ask the Buddha because definitely the Buddha will give him different answers. So anyway, he came down to see the Buddha. Before he came down to see the Buddha, he asked the musician to perform music on the sky. And why I want to say this is a famous sutta, because especially when we study, people have this kind of, especially some Buddhists might think that, the Buddha do not listen to music. Of course, the Buddha not intentionally want to listen to music. But anyway, because as a kind of, you could say the etiquette of as being the king, wanted to see the Buddha, it's not very polite. He just appear because he had the power, just disappear from the heavens and appear in front of the Buddha with the form of the physical of the earth form. I need to use this word because in the Pali language, say it very clear. He can only appear in the earth with the form of the earth form because the earth cannot provide any other material for him to appear in different kind of form. Okay, in Pali word is very very clear to say that word. And in other words, he could appear only in almost like a human form. He cannot appear because there's no such a quality for them to appear in a certain way. So when he appeared that way, he asked the Buddha, first he asked the musician to perform the music first and then inform the Buddha he will come to visit him. So it's a kind of polite way. But the funny part here is, I know that this has been a big discussion when we were studying those days, is then the Buddha actually said that, you play very well music, wonderful music, and kind of like pleasing the musician, right? And then why I want to say this has become a very huge discussion, maybe not for some people who were born in America, but in Asia, people would wonder, why? I thought the Buddha would say empty, 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 no music, But instead, the Buddha say, you play a wonderful music, very nice, and so forth. And he praised the musician. And the musician was very delighted also because he did something good and the Buddha was pleased. And of course, then he said the king suckers came to visit. Anyway, this is not the story I intend to tell you, but I still want to give you some image about how you understand Buddhism. Do not take it as the way, it's empty, I'm not talking about you guys will do that, but I'm sure in the past when I was earlier time when I studied Buddhism, this is how I think. I never really have a more full thought of how the Buddha will react. But later when I understand that even during the school time, when the teacher said that, I was kind of surprised as well. And then I start to think, if the Buddha is all the time like that, then how can he know that who is going to talk to them, right? talk to the Buddha. How he know that who is talking with the Buddha. Anyway, now back to this story. In the commentary say, one of the monks, it's a kind of unique story that happened in Sri Lanka, because the commentary was written in Sri Lanka. And then one of the monks, I think it's called Mahasiva, and he is a very, very old monk and also very educated. In other words, he could recite the Buddhist text by heart. Do you believe that? Well, you believe because you know some. Do you know that how many Buddhist texts they need to recite if they learn this big? Okay. Not to talk about how complicated they are. And some monks, they can recite all. Okay. And some texts, like Satipatthana Sutta, like Satipatthana Sutta, famous texts like Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, they even can recite in the reverse order. Yeah. During the examination, they have to ask you, and they don't ask you to recite like from the end to the front. They ask you to recite, if I pick up one word, from there you need to recite backward. Like some very famous sutta, they have to recite like the first sermon from a Buddha and Satipatthana Sutta, and I think Mahanidana Sutta and all few sutta, they must not only learn from this descendant order, they have to recite. Descendant order, right? Not in the order, but in the descending order. Anyway, I even myself, not only I know some, but I live in a temple that time with a monk, the high monk, the abbot here. He can recite the whole Jataka Atthakatha. Jataka is one of the texts this big only, but Jataka Atthakatha with the commentary is this big, okay? He can recite the whole thing. And if you ask him one story, he recite the whole thing for you. But now it's because of computer, I think get less and less this. Then you can see how much effort they've been putting on there. All right, now back there, this monk, because he really powerful, he can recite all the texts, not because he can recite all the text, and he's very senior. In other words, he can teach very well. And this Mahasiva, he had one fun, interesting thing that he would teach so many students that it was said more than actually like 30,000 students under him become arahant. Okay. Well, I don't know what it is. It might be a too big number to me, but at least if you say 1,000, fine. Just say 1,000. That the 1,000 person under him become arahant. In arahant means the perfect, the one who practice almost like a Buddha. And then one of his students, one day, he was thinking, I'm not going to recite Pali now, although I think the Pali is a very interesting language here because there's some interesting phrasing. But anyway, and then the Buddha, one of his students was thinking, how is my teacher now? Because he's the one who used to teach them, right? And then he wanted to see how is my teacher. And then because he's Arahant and he's very powerful monk, he could read the mind of the teacher, even though they don't live together anymore. And then he aware that, actually my teacher still is a Buddhujana, still not a saint even. Don't even say Arahant. Arahant is the fourth level, the highest level of sainthood. He's not even the first level of sainthood. He was very surprised by that. And he said that, actually, and he understood because his teacher spending so much time in teaching, doesn't have time to practice. And that's why he's still a lay. Not a lay, sorry, a Buddhujana. I don't know how to use the word. A normal person is not a noble person, not a saint. And that's why he disappeared. And it means he have a supernatural power. That's actually one of the most difficult practice, supernatural power. He can disappear and fly, almost like flying. It's not flying. He would disappear, almost like people submerged on the water, go through a kind of tunnel, and then he can appear in his place. And he was sitting until the teacher came back. When the teacher came back, he asked the teacher, he said, I have many questions to ask your teacher. And the teacher said, I don't have time for you. I'm so busy. I need to go to teach other people. So, and then he said, okay, how about tomorrow? Tomorrow when you're having like a arms round, right? Then I can come with you, and then maybe I can ask you on the way. He said, but I'm so busy tomorrow also. I have so many things to teach. In other words, even when he go for arms round, he was so popular that, in other words, it's implied that when he go for arms round also, many people asking him questions as well, and he know they expect it. Then he said, okay, how about when you come back after you take a nap, and then I can also come to visit you. He said, but I'm so busy. After that, I also have other engagements, something like that. But anyway, he was asking many occasions. Only all the possibility whether he could ask a question, still he would reply the same thing. And okay, and then what happened? After that, because it's almost like he doesn't have time for him even. He was so highly engaged, highly occupied. So then the monk say, oh, Bande, so okay, after now when you wash your face, have prepared your seat, I think you should meditate 3 to 4 times, kind of like, he was, but of course the language is a kind of very polite, meaning say, oh, very honor one, I think after washing your face when you prepare your seat, maybe you should try to do at least 3 to 4 times a day of meditation. And then the next question is, say, if you are so busy, how do you prepare yourself when you're dying, when you're deaf, and when you're dead? He say, but Bande, let me see. Okay, Bande, you help others, but not able to practice yourself. This is my translation anyway. So, now, actually, we have a very similar word like a thanksgiving. He say, it is not me that I can give you the gift. In other words, kind of like, maybe you have to do, you need to find a way to thank yourself, kind of something like that, And then he jumped in the sky and left. In other words, he just left. Well, he do that usually in Buddhist tradition. You can do that for a teacher do that for some reason. Otherwise, you don't perform your supernatural power. But of course, he did that. As the monk also know, as the old monk also know, that he had many students that become Arahant, very powerful. But anyway, it's a way to show also he is not very, kind of like, not that he's not happy, he's Arahant, he is not anger, but it's a kind, he want to remind his teacher, this is the time you should do that. And the funny question is about that. And afterward, and he was thinking, oh, actually, my student told me this, and he think in such a way. He say, oh, I'm as a monk, but I'm not doing the action of study. I am just almost like an ankusako. Of course, this is a very strange term, but it's become idiomatic. It means somebody like a crook going to pluck some other people's fruit, right? Kind of like, steal, but it's not stealing. It's a kind of have a very cunning way to take other people. In old day, like they have a plant of the fruits. They just have a very cunning way to take other fruits. And he's kind of ashamed himself and he thinks, oh, actually, yeah, maybe I'm angusako. Anyway, that's just idiomatic term. We don't have that in Chinese translation, so I don't know. But anyway, so then, okay, why don't I just, and he thinks, since I'm a teacher who have teach these many Arahant, a student become Arahant. So for me, maybe 2 or 3 days I could do it, right? I mean, this guy what we call, I forgot there's a term, a lot of modern term in a kind of overestimate ourselves is very happening, all the time happening, right? And then when there was some monk going to the forest just to do meditation, and he just go with them. And according traditionally, because the monk when they go to the forest to do meditation, they don't talk to each other, so they didn't even notice the teacher actually with them already. They just know because everybody just go. And he was practiced. He thought 2-3 days when I finish, I will come back to still continue my teaching, So he went to 2-3 days. Of course, he didn't do anything. He couldn't get anything. He said, "Oh, okay, fine. 2-3 days doesn't work for me. So why don't I just meditate, say 1 month, and then it doesn't work for him." He said, "Okay, fine. Then I will stay the Vasa here. I traditionally a rainy season. I will stay for 3 months, and he stay 1 rainy season. And after that, it doesn't work. And he say, okay, fine. What about I will spend another year." So and on, he spent 30 years. The story say, I don't know, the story didn't say much, but usually some people, when people giving the preaching, they exaggerate it. They say every year he cries. But I didn't see the commentary say so. But for sure in the 30 years, and when he knew that, he'd been spending 30 years, he didn't attend Arahant yet, and he cried. He cried like the waterfall. Okay. The story is not stopped here yet. Okay. Where is it? Where is it now? I want to see. Okay. And then because I find some word is so funny. Sometimes let me see. Oh, here. And after 30 years, he cried. It's a Asutara Bhavatanti. Mean anyway, he was just crying and crying. Say, 30 years, I didn't even get anything. And then, not far away, after Aviduratana, Eko Devatita, Rodamana Atmasi. And then it's, I'm sorry, and then it's not far away. And there were some woman deities, a kind of woman god, also crying there, And then, and then he heard that because not far from him, and there was some woman deity, it's not a human, but the divine being crying there. And he was asking in Pali, saying, "Koeta Rotasi, who is crying?" And then the female deva said, "Aham Bande Deva Tita." I'm the female, kind of like the deva, mean the deity, the god, Then he asked, "Kasma Rotasi, why are you crying?" And he say, "Rota ma dena makapala nipati dong dena aham bi ekandwe makapala nipati samiti rota bande." He say, "Oh, why I'm crying? Why I have this? Because he say, one will attend the Magga and Pala, and then I will attend too the Magga and Pala. In other words, I'm crying because I want to attend the path, and I want to attend the fruit, and I want to attend the two." Do you understand the joke? You don't? Okay. He was crying because he was thinking why I couldn't attend the path. And only after you see the path, like a noble effect path, let's say, just say the path, a noble effect path. When he see the path, then he will become the fruit, right? Without the path, there's no fruit. He say he want to attend the path. He didn't attend the path. Of course, he don't get the fruit, right? So he asked the deity, "Why you're crying?" And she say, "I want to get either the path or the fruit, and I want to get the two also. That's why I'm crying." Get it now? In other words, it's a kind of like mocking, more like a mocking. "Oh, I cry because I didn't get the path and I didn't get the fruit. Actually, I want the path and the fruit also. I cry." It's a kind of mocking in a very polite way. He didn't want to insult the monk. He would just say it that way. And then the monk he say, "Bo Mahas," and then he say, "Deva tapi taya sating keling karondi." He say, "Anukachitam nu kote etanti." And he say, even this God, basically in Buddhist tradition, believe that the God are not higher than the monk because monks are having much more virtue, And he say, why even this God, he's still mocking at me. So, and he think, oh, I must really keep on practice my insight meditation. Actually, this one, why I want to say this story also in afternoon. You really had to work hard later on. Okay, so otherwise it's very difficult. A little difficult when you do the insight meditation. Anyway, and he said even that, and he started to do the insight meditation. Because of that, actually, anyway, I'm not going to say the long story, but when he started to do that, in other words, after when you hear the people mocking, and he come out somehow, it come out this very strong energy that I really have to put down. This is here is regard to the. I really have to, build up the wholesome thing, and then abandon unwholesome thing, and attain the Nibbana. So then, after 30 years, he attained the Nibbana. And yesterday, actually, somebody asked me a question. He said, I'm so fear that, how many I had to wait for until I get the Nibbana. Just remember this story, okay? Someone who, as a teacher, in other words, very, very, very powerful teacher, because he can memorize, he knows very well. Otherwise, he would not able to train so many arahants. But he himself didn't have the time to practice, okay? If it's difficult for you to understand, maybe some people have those questions, but I don't have those questions anymore. In the past, I did. I always say, very easy for you to understand one thing. For example, let's say I don't understand American football, or say, is football? Not only football, American, what called? Baseball. I don't know, actually, I don't understand the rule, whatever, I don't. If you ask me to become a coach of American football, there was no way for me to do that, right? Because in my surrounding, in my kind of culture, in my surrounding, I don't even know what are they, right? But if you, let's say you were born in America, and especially if you're born in a family that everybody play football, and that baseball so well, or even everybody in that town playing baseball so well, and that kind of person, let's say maybe he doesn't play well, or but he know everything. He heard so many stories, and then when let's say he went to Asia, and then maybe he could teach very well about the baseball, but he may not necessarily play very well. This is what I'm saying. Like that. That's the difference between that. But given this, please remember, that person must have a lot of good teachers around them. Then at least he understands it had to work in such a way. Even though he himself doesn't have the time to practice, he can be a coaching some other quite well. So, but the problem is nowadays, it's not about that. Some people actually, they don't have the environment. They never study very well. They don't. And that will become a problem. Okay, there's another quiet question, different kind of question. Okay, I want to say that, let's say, like me, if I ask me to coach somebody to play baseball, even how much book I read, it's very difficult for me. You get it now? Because my environment knows such a thing, and no. If you ask me to coach ping pong, maybe a little better, but baseball, I can tell you, I know baseball, I know ping pong, so maybe I can coach the baseball. It doesn't work that way, especially this kind of meditation and teaching. Okay. Anyway, I will just give you some answer why it could happen in such a way, because they have a really, really good teacher around, and he certainly is very well learned. Anyway, all right, now I need to end this now and then take a break and come back to do meditation. But before that, I like to remind again the fourth one. That means you have to try, just keep on doing and doing and doing and doing. And don't let this time become your pleasure. Pleasure especially become a hindrance for you that you want to stop practice. Some people did say that. He say, I'm old now, or I'm too young now, or some say, I'm too ill now, or different way of saying things, and then they say, I don't have enough time now. Even some told me that, oh, I don't have enough time now. I say, I'm old, I may be going to die. But what about the story we were just mentioning earlier time? In earlier time, we did mention the story saying that you can get enlightened or at least become a sotapanna on the verge of dying as well. Why you want to give up? Especially in Buddhist concept, your life is not only this life. If you don't practice now, the next time you face the same thing. Okay? And whatever you do now is still carry with you. Like people, they don't study, I always say, you don't study next time, you're still not very good in study. Next time, then if you do it now, you have better resource for your future also, like that. Okay, I forgot one thing. I need to take the 8 precept before take a break and come back. Yeah, please start to have 8 precepts now.